This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven son. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching and participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phatts TV on this Tuesday night, January the 17th, 2023. It is 7 p.m. on the East Coast. Do you know where your children are? Well, I know where my non-genetically proven son is. He's in the upper left-hand portion of the screen, coming to you live deep from the heart of Center County, Pennsylvania, in Phatts Studio B. How's it going?
See what you did there. That was clever.
Yeah. I come up with these things on the fly every now and then. So, it doesn't look like you've changed since Friday.
Wow.
You know, I think we got to get a Phatts TV shirt made of that material so, like, you can wear that.
It's just this coat I wear to work.
Well, we got to get you a Phatts TV coat.
Wait, on Friday I wore a Waffle House.
That's right. You did wear a Waffle House. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
so
right.
I have changed since Friday. Yep. I did do laundry since Friday.
Did you?
I did.
I'm pretty sure when I watched you at the basketball game. Wait, when were you at a basketball game? When was your last basketball game? When they played Indiana. When
I know who they played. I just don't know when it was.
You were wearing that sweatshirt.
It was like Wednesday.
You were wearing that.
Yeah, because I wore it to work. This is a comfortable material, and it's a light coat to wear to work until it gets warm in there, and then I take it off.
Got ya. Put your microphone a little closer to you.
Put your microphone a little closer to you.
No, because my microphone is close to the speaker that you're coming out of. So, the group in Vogue, you don't know who they are. They are mostly from the 90s.
Okay.
They sang a song called "What a Man, What a Man, What a Man, What a Mighty Good Man," and of course, we when we say "What a Man, What a Man, What a Mighty Good Man," we're talking about Grandpa Joe, of course. Because he's a man. Last week we reported that they found classified documents in his possession from the time where he was vice president. Well, now we are up to 4 different times they've now found documents in different locations. Wonder if they found documents in his old house in Scranton.
I doubt it.
Well,
you never know. When he was like 2.
You never know. So they did name a special prosecutor, just as I said they needed to do. So there's now a special prosecutor. I believe he was named Thursday. Now he may be a quote unquote Republican. But of course he's got ties, you know. He was on this person's team who's a Democrat, and you know, his wife might have some Democratic ties, of course. So you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions. Interestingly enough, so a couple of these releases have come up that they found documents at his house in Delaware. You know, because when he was in Delaware, he got up at every Sunday morning and went to a black church. Really? Really? I'm sorry, Joe, there's not a lot of black Catholic churches around. There just isn't. There might be in Delaware, I don't know, but I kind of have my doubts. And I can tell you right now, Joe, there's none in Scranton, Pennsylvania. So during your childhood, you weren't going to a black Catholic church in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, probably
Because
not.
I can tell you this right now, Joe. I grew up in the area of Scranton, Pennsylvania. And for whatever reason, be that as it may, back in the 70s, and you would have grown up long before the 70s, there just wasn't many non-white people in northeastern Pennsylvania. It's just the way it was. I could tell you a little further south in northeastern Pennsylvania, there was a very large KKK contingent. I could say that with certainty. Through my readings, as I've gotten older and have read, about Pennsylvania. I'm from Pennsylvania all my life, so I like to read about Pennsylvania. So, So now we have stashes found of documents inside his library, for lack of a better way to put it. And next to his, 67 Stingray in his garage. The garage that was secure, with a lock on the door so no one could get in from the outside. But I'm sure there was no lock on the inside door. By the way, where they found the first piece of classified information at this Penn Center, do you know where a lot of that financing came from? For the Penn Center? This is going to make you go, Non-genetically proven son, do you know where a lot of the financing came from?
Pennsylvania?
No. Now, this Penn Center, I don't believe is in Pennsylvania. I believe it is in Delaware, I think. Or it could be in Philly. I don't know. But no, it didn't come from Pennsylvania. Guess again.
Oh, am I guessing a state?
No.
Okay.
You're not guessing a person either. I'll
A
make
county?
it easy for you. You're going to guess a country.
China!
China! So they found secret classified documents in a building where a lot of the money for the building came from China. Now, ain't that interesting? What is it with the Democratic Party and China? Can someone tell me?
I don't know.
Seriously, what is it with the Democratic Party in China? What is it with LeBron James in China? Either. Why we're talking about it. What is it with China? What is the Democratic Party's love of China? Why did Eric Swalwell be banging a Chinese spy? He's a representative from California. A Democrat, of course. While he was on I believe it was the Intelligence Committee. Oh! We've talked about that. You're going to have to go back several episodes. We brought that up. He's on the the United States House of Representatives Intelligence Committee. So he's seeing classified documents while he's banging a Chinese spy. What a fucking dope. I will say she was a rather good-looking woman. I will say that. Probably way above his get level. So I'm gonna just guess. I'm just gonna guess. Just a guess, Eric, if you're watching the show. Just a guess. She wasn't with you because you got a big schlong. Just another guess. She wasn't with you because you can move your tongue 56 miles an hour like some of us can. Just a guess. I'm gonna guess she was with you because you were telling her shit. Just a guess. Just a guess. For those of you in the NSA that's watching right now, just a guess. They should be knocking down my door at any moment. If they come knocking down my door, start deleting files, please.
Start deleting.
You know, my China documents.
Your China documents?
My China documents.
I don't think you have China documents.
Oh, I most certainly do.
Do you?
I most certainly do.
Yeah?
Yep. And I'm willing to tell the world what my #1 top secret document is. Yep.
What is that?
Do you really want to know? Like, does the whole world want to know the #1 top secret China document that I have in possession? It will put anything Biden anything anybody has to shame.
You froze.
Anything I have, like anybody has my top secret Chinese document, it'll put it to shame. Are you ready? Do you really want to know?
Sure.
Fine. Give me a drum roll. I have the secret recipe to Dim Jung Song's Chinese buffet, sweet and sour sauce.
Dim Jung Song? Who's that?
Some dumb fuck. I have the secret recipe to some dumb fuck's buffets, sweet and sour sauce.
Why sweet and sour though? Why couldn't it be something good? Sweet and sour sauce is fine, but like...
Did you ever have some dumb fuck's secret sweet and sour sauce?
Have you?
It's kicking, baby. It's kicking.
I don't think I've ever seen you eat sweet and sour sauce. But
It's kicking. Well, because I've never had it from any place but some dumb fuck's place. You don't like sweet and sour sauce until you've had it from some dumb fuck's buffet.
Okay.
That beats any secret out there at all. People have died trying to recreate this sauce.
Yeah?
Yeah. But seriously, so for those of you that are living under a rock, we know that Hunter Biden is under investigation. Tax evasion. Something to do with his business dealings with China and Ukraine, something about that.
They're doing a good job on the tax evasion part since they got, what's his face on that?
Yeah. So, in 2018, we all remember 2018. Was a good year.
I graduated high school.
Was the first time I had some dung fucks buffet.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember who I took there the very first time.
Wasn't me.
No. No. Mrs. Pickles.
Mrs. Pickles.
And then Mr. Pickles found out. Mr. Pickles, the official mascot of Phatts TV.
Oh, yeah, really?
So the people investigating Hunter have a copy of Hunter's driver's license from 2018 that lists Joe Biden's address as where he was living in 2018. Did he have access to read these documents? As he was, banging 15-year-olds and hooking up a crack pipe. I mean, definitely, I've said this before, and I'll continue saying it. I don't care what the hell happens to me. The wrong Biden died. Bo should have lived. Hunter should have died. I mean, Bo was a righteous individual. He was in the military. Hunter is just a fuck-up. Although without Hunter, we don't have the laptop. So.
True.
So he lived, according to his driver's license, where some of these documents have now been found. So, obviously, Hunter did not have top secret clearance. Well, you know, maybe he did. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? You know, him and his dad lighting up a joint. I mean, maybe they took some of these top secret documents and put a line of blow on them and... Maybe. You know, maybe they were dropping acid. Maybe that's why Joe acts the way he does. Message board is live and operational should you wish to chime in, by the way. So what does Hunter see? Like, what did he know? Did he ever see him? Did he know that it was there? Did he play snoop around? A lot of kids snoop through their parents' belongings. You don't think he ever got in that 67 Stingray? Apparently, some of the documents were in the garage right by the Stingray. Was he looking at the boxes in the garage? We don't know. What unsavory people did Hunter have in that house? We don't know. What unsavory people did Joe have in the house? What people from China were there? What people from Ukraine were there? What people from Mother Russia were there? We don't know.
Hi, Kiana.
Hi, Kiana. Mother Russia. What people from the fatherland might have been there? And worst comes to worst, what people from Iceland may have been there? That is pretty bad when you get visited from people from Iceland.
What's wrong with Iceland?
They have black beaches, for crying out loud.
That's cool.
Black beaches. I'm not saying it to be racist. We're going to get to something racist a little later. So. We are going to get to something racist. Stay tuned. Pop your popcorn. We are going to get to something racist. And apparently there's a report out there, not confirmed. I will say it right now. It hasn't been confirmed. But there is a report out there that Hunter was paying Joe $50,000 a month to live there.
That's a lot of money.
Connect the dots. The report is, Hunter was paying Joe $50,000 a month to live there. At the same time, Hunter was consulting for a Ukrainian gas company. Consulting what? Who the hell knows, because he doesn't have any knowledge of natural gas. Except for the fucking flatulence that comes out of him. He was getting paid $50,000 a month from this gas company. Oh, connect the dots. How interesting. Again, unconfirmed that he was paying that much in rent. There's a report out there. It's unconfirmed. Don't know, you know. That should be very easy to corroborate. I mean, Biden has... I don't know. I'm just going to assume he's released his tax returns for 2018. Maybe he hasn't. But if he did, that would be considered rental income, which is subject to taxation. I'm the accountant here. Now, you don't have to list the names of the person who's renting from you, but if you see $600,000 in rental income,
Yeah.
so if it's true, isn't that interesting? Think about that for a second. Huh. And let's not forget, there was an investigation going on in Ukraine to investigate this energy company, and Biden flew over there and gave him a message from Barack, when Barack was still president, that said, you guys got 24 hours to fire this prosecutor or you're not going to get your foreign aid that we've promised you. And before Biden took off to go home, that prosecutor was fired. Huh. Connect the dots, ladies and gentlemen. Connect the dots. These aren't little weeny little dots. These are big dots.
These are big dots.
These are big dots. Really big dots. Even, can you connect these dots?
Well, with all that information, sure.
Sure. It doesn't take a fucking Mensa person to connect these dots. So a couple other interesting things. The Secret Service has no record of the visitors to Biden's home. They don't keep logs of who's come to visit. Obviously, since he's been president, and even before, when he had the nomination, you start to get Secret Service protection. So obviously, when he's in that house, and I'm sure at all times there's a skeleton staff there, he's got Secret Service protection.
Yeah.
Apparently, they don't keep logs of who comes to visit him. I find that a little strange.
Yeah.
Is it that way for all presidents, or is it just that way for Grandpa Joe? Like when Bush would have the summer at his ranch. Like he'd spend just about the entire summer down there. His daddy used to spend a lot of the summer up in Kennebunkport, Maine. Obama used to spend a lot of the summer in Martha's Vineyard. I don't know, when I'm fucking president, I'm spending the summer where there is nobody.
There's a lot of those places.
Put me somewhere far away from people.
Go to, wherever Stonehenge is, go to those islands.
Fuck, put me somewhere in northern Alaska.
Alright, I don't want to go somewhere cold.
Well, it's not like you're going to be there. What the fuck does it matter to you?
Why would you want to go somewhere cold, you idiot?
It's not necessarily cold. I would like to see 24 hours of sunlight. I think that would be very interesting.
It's still going to be cold.
Is it, though? Is it?
Northern Alaska? Yeah, it probably doesn't get any warmer than like 50 degrees there all year.
That's not cold. That's
But
not cold.
still,
That's not
no. You're an idiot.
Fine. I'll spend part of it there, and then I'll go to some fucking island somewhere where there is nobody.
There you go. Have fun at the Galapagos.
Just me and whatever hookers I'm bringing. And
You
of
go to Walmart?
course, Secret Service protection.
Better hope there's like a, supply of food there or something. You gonna grow your own cows and butcher them yourself?
I'm gonna grow my own cows.
Yeah. You're gonna bring a couple cows and breed them?
It's hard to
Butcher
breed
them?
cows to another cow.
Huh?
It's really hard to breed a cow to another cow. Ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, if you go into the ancestry of my family, we are a bunch of farmers. Little does the non-genetically proven son know that all cows are female.
Well, fine, bring a bull.
It's a little hard to breed a cow with another cow.
Fine, bring a bull and a cow.
I'm not sure cows are concerned with their pronouns.
Maybe they are. You know, a bull could be considered a cow.
No, a bull would be considered a bull. A steer would be considered a steer. An ox would be considered an ox. A cow is considered a cow. I tell you what. If there's such a thing as a male cow, I will let you drink its milk. I ain't fucking touching its milk.
I'm looking it up.
You're about to get a message, I'm sure.
Is there a male cow? It's known as a bull.
You are going to get a message from somebody. Unless if she also thinks there might be male cows. So, the Secret Service does not keep records of visitors.
By the way, a bull is an ox, so the same thing.
Here's another thing. The people who are searching his house for these records are his own personal attorneys. His personal attorneys. They do not have clearance to look at top secret documents. So basically they claim that as they're looking through the documents, if it has the stamp of top secret, they're just putting it aside. They're not looking at it. That's their claim. They've been drinking the milk from the male cow, too, apparently. Kiana says, no, I don't think that.
I got 3 texts. 4.
Do you dare read them?
Oh, I can see them popping up on my computer. Because my computer receives text messages because it's linked.
Are they readable?
Yeah, they're readable. It says, how dumb are you? Are you okay? You might have to go back to school, like maybe back to kindergarten.
The cow goes moo.
I'm not dumb like you.
Oh, this has to go in the best of reel. So this is where we stand now. Of course, when asked about it today at the White House briefing, the press secretary, Jean-Pierre, or whatever her name is, deflects the question and brings up how Republicans hide things. That's really being transparent.
Yeah, it is.
That's really transparent. That's rich. Story to be continued next Tuesday, I'm sure. This is far from over. I am sure. So I said I was going to talk about something racist.
You did.
So I gave you guys enough time to make your popcorn. So I just read about this in passing this morning. And it just made me shake my head. Texas Congressman Sheila Jackson Lee.
Okay.
I'm going to let you guess what her skin color is. Let me just say it's not white. Okay? She introduced a bill into Congress last week called the Leading Against White Supremacy Act of 2023. She wants to make it a crime, a federal crime. Obviously, she's a representative in Congress, so this would have to be a federal crime, not a state crime. It's a federal crime if you make a post on the internet that promotes white supremacy, that inspires a person to commit a crime.
How can you prove that? Because the first part of that's just freedom of speech. But how can you...
Let me say this again. For the people in the back. Or the people that might just be joining us. And what you're saying is exactly right. She wants to make it a federal crime if you make a post on social media that promotes white supremacy. White supremacy. Which inspires somebody to go commit a crime.
If you want to post about white supremacy, that's your right to, I guess.
So, I'm just going to give you a for example. So, Mr. John Q. Public makes a post on Twitter saying, "I hate black people." Joe Schmo reads that post. And he's like, yeah, you know what? He's right. And he decides to go out and shoot black people. Joe Schmo is going to get arrested in state court for committing murder, just as he should. And he should get the death penalty for it, in my opinion. But now because he read a post by John Q. Public, John Q. Public could be charged with a federal crime.
Sounds like something the Russians might have did.
Here's the interesting part. So, obviously, First Amendment violations galore here.
Right.
The government cannot infringe on your right to say something. And making it a federal crime, the government is infringing your right to say something. But let me say this. Let's just say for some reason this law passed. And let's just say it went up to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court in all their wisdom upheld it. Let's just say. Let's just say again, John Q. Public, who's black, writes a post. I hate white people. And Joe Schmo, who's black, says, you know what? You're right. I don't like white people. I'm going to go mow down a bunch of white people. He doesn't get arrested for a federal crime. Under this act, you only get arrested if you're promoting white supremacy. This is what we've become in this country, ladies and gentlemen. This is literally what we've become.
You know what that's similar to?
Tell me.
Tell me that's not similar to what the Germans did.
It is exactly what the Germans did.
With basically Aryans.
It's exactly.
Pure. It's very... I mean, history repeats itself, and that's so right.
I mean...
That's literally...
This is what the Democratic Party is all about anymore. Division. Division. Martin Luther King, we just celebrated his holiday yesterday. He was one of the greatest Americans that ever lived.
He spoke at Rec Hall like in 1965.
I remember reading about that.
Because I asked one of my coworkers when he was born, he goes like 50 something. I'm like, do you remember that? Then he said 58, so he'd have been like 7 or 8. Do you remember that? He's like, no, not really.
Yes. Martin Luther King was one of the greatest Americans that ever lived. Do you really think he would support something like this? Martin Luther King was all about inclusion. And now some dopehead if because I make a statement causes you to go out and make a crime, it's now a you broken federal law.
That reminds me of what that one, I forget if it was a senator or a house, where they said like white people walk like it was like a 5-minute long Facebook video. It's like walk lightly, you people this, you people that. It was like a couple of years ago.
Yes, I remember what you're referring to.
I don't remember. I think that was someone in the House.
Yeah, no one in the Senate would ever say something like that. Nobody in the Senate would ever say something like that. Seriously. This is your modern day Democratic Party. But this, you know what? This has always been the Democratic Party. They've always been about separating, segregating you. Remember, the Democratic Party is the party of slavery. Not the Republican Party. The Republican Party was the party that ended slavery. For those of you that need a history lesson, shall I go pull up the vote in Congress for the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments? I could go do that. And we'll see who voted for it and who voted against it. I'll give you a clue which party voted for it and which party vastly majority voted against them. Yeah. The Democratic Party keeps minorities down in this country. They always have, and they always will. Except for those that get in with the in crowd in Washington. Then they do shit like this. So, I'm going to read you an article here. And I haven't read this article yet, so we're going to read it together. A new bill introduced in the House last week aims to curb white supremacy and hate crimes, but it also sparked concern that it would blow a hole through the First Amendment. The Leading Against White Supremacy Act of 2023, sponsored by Representative Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas, would make it a federal crime not just to commit a crime that is inspired by white supremacy, but to post something on social media that promotes white supremacist views if someone else then sees it and commits a crime. It is a criminal hate speech law that would violate core principles of the First Amendment, George Washington University law professor Jonathan Turley wrote in a Tuesday blog. It makes clear that the accused does not actually have to support or conspire to a crime. Much of the bill deals with making it a crime to commit conspiracy to engage in white supremacy-inspired hate crime, outlining the elements of such an offense. Normally, criminal conspiracy statutes require two or more people working together toward the commission of a crime, but this bill only requires one person to actually be involved in the crime. If another person published material advancing white supremacy, white supremacist ideology, antagonism based on replacement theory, or hate speech that vilifies or is otherwise directed against any non-white person or group. The bill says that a published message would satisfy the bill if it is posted on social media or in any other way that is a likelihood that it would be viewed by people who are predisposed to engaging in any action or furtherance of a white supremacy-inspired hate crime, or susceptible to being encouraged to engage in actions of furtherance of white supremacy-inspired hate crime. The writers reached out to Sheila Jackson Lee's office for clarification as to what those descriptions mean, but they did not immediately respond. The bill also says that a published message satisfies the elements of the statute if a reasonable person would find that it could motivate someone with such a predisposition or susceptibility, English, to act. A reasonable person standard is common in the law, but Turley commented on how Jackson Lee's bill uses it to consider how a person with a predisposition to commit a hate crime might act. The bizarrely written reasonable person standard is so opaque and cryptic, Turley said in an email, that it is enthralling. How would a reasonable person discern a predisposition to engage in white supremacy? Liking it to Supreme Court Justice Potter Stewart's 1964 test for pornography, in which he said, "I know it when I see it," rather than offer a clear definition. This is so flagrantly unconstitutional on so many levels, from free speech to vagueness, that it is actually impressive. Warning that while the bill is highly unlikely to pass, it is reminiscent of laws like those in the United Kingdom, under which someone was arrested for silently praying near an abortion clinic, or another was convicted and sentenced to 4 years for toxic ideology when he had weapons as well as SS and KKK memorabilia in his bedroom. The very idea that a bill like this would be introduced in the first place is evidence of an erosion of free speech values, like what is happening in other parts of the world. This is disgusting. Disgusting on so many levels. Disgusting on so many levels. A conspiracy as written in there. It's plain law. A conspiracy is two or more people engaging in an act to commit a crime. Now, because I post something where someone who I don't even know halfway around the world could read it. Well, let's just use somebody in the United States. Where I could post something living in Pennsylvania where somebody in Arizona could read it and commit a crime, I could get arrested? That's conspiracy when I've never spoken to the person, I've never met the person, I've never engaged in any kind of conversation with the person. That is not a conspiracy. Sheila Jackson Lee, you fucking moron. But that's what this Democratic Party that is in front of us in 2023 have become. Fucking dopes. Arrest me because someone in the state of Maine is going to watch this show and think, "Ooh, God, that fat guy is right. The Democratic Party is a bunch of fucking dopes." Well, arrest me for conspiracy. Blowhard, you fucking moron. Arrest me for conspiracy. Come on, come through my door and arrest me. You fucking idiot. Fucking Democratic Party in this country sucks. See? They're messaging us now.
They're saying we smell like Swiss cheese. We smell like true Italian provolone.
Oh, whew. That's an acquired taste. That is an acquired taste. True Italian provolone. Not the stuff you buy in a grocery store.
That sounds good.
True Italian provolone that you find in an Italian market, that is an acquired taste. That stuff is... Fucking morons in the Democratic Party.
But are you surprised?
No, nothing surprises me anymore.
Exactly.
I mean, she should be thrown out of Congress for the absurdity to put that bill in to be voted on. Like, you should be looked at and said, that is so unconstitutional, you don't even belong in this body anymore.
I'm sure there was... Did they vote on it?
No. And it's probably never going to get voted on because it'll never come out of committee.
See, I'd love to know what people would vote for it.
There's not a Republican in the world that would vote for it.
No,
and I would love to know how many Democrats would vote for it.
That's what I want to know, because she should be the only one to vote for it. But obviously she wouldn't be.
But I do like how it only talks about white supremacy.
The best part is there'd probably be a white Democrat that would vote for it.
Oh, I'm sure there'd be plenty of them. You gonna tell me AOC wouldn't vote for it?
Is she white?
She's Puerto Rican, but close enough.
She's not white. She gets off the hook, according to her. Bernie would vote for it.
He's in the Senate.
Same difference.
Actually, I don't even think you'd find enough senators that would actually pass that thing. The Senate is a little more,
Let's calm it down, guys.
Yeah. they're a little more above the fray of that kind of stuff. It's like, come on. Come on. All right, so there will be no show Friday night. Somebody, we won't mention any names, has some sports to cover. So we are doing a sports show, but it's not going to be Friday night. We are going to do, mark your calendars. I'll wait till you get out your calendar.
Mine's in my living room.
Shh, I'm waiting till they get their calendars. On your calendars, right, this week's Phatts TV sports show will be Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Is 11 a.m. still good for you?
Yeah, I think it should be.
I'm such an idiot. I gotta say, I am such an idiot. I really am an idiot.
Why?
I do have to admit, I do some really stupid things from time to time. So, you guys can't see this, but there's a computer in front of me.
Right.
Which runs the program that I use to do this. On the screen, the non-genetically proven son is on there in two different spots. He's on the far upper left of the screen, which shows him live.
Right.
And then it shows him in the program that we use to do this is called Wirecast. It's a very good program. A little pricey, but it's a very good program. So it's on like a 1.5 seconds delay by the time it gets to it. And then I have another computer screen, just a monitor to my right, which none of you could see. I'm not going to lift it up because I'll fall over because I'd have to really reach for it, which shows what you guys are seeing at this moment on YouTube. So it's about a 30-second delay. So I got the non-genetically proven son live on the left. In the middle is about a second delay. And then on the right, on a different monitor, is what you're seeing right now on YouTube.
Right.
Why, oh why, at times, when I ask him a question, do I look down at the computer monitor like I'm talking to him directly? It's not as if he can see me. It's not as if we're making eye contact.
Especially since you're not using the computer camera, you're using the camera.
Yes, yeah. So I'm not using the camera that's on the computer. I'm using a different camera, which sits about 2 feet higher, and it's about 8 feet behind it. So now, granted, I do have to look down to see his reaction because I can't be looking right at the camera and I can't see his reaction. I could kind of see him, but I can't see any reaction. So I do got to look down from time to time. But I don't have to look down to talk to him. Just have to look down to see his answer. It would be nice if I had back in the old days, I used to put the second monitor like right by the camera and it used to raise it up so I could see. But that's the tape delay monitor. That's not the live monitor. So, anyway, I found it just funny. And I wanted to waste a couple more minutes. So, our sports show will be Saturday at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. is fine. See, I looked down again to talk to you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, we're going to be going over our picks from last week. Let's just quickly see how many teams we both have left. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That must mean I have 3. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Very good. Okay.
Should be 6-2, Dolphins.
Dolphins weren't going to win that game.
Hey, but were they winning that game? Were they in that game?
Yeah.
They could have won.
You were the one that took Buffalo with the point against the spread. I took the Dolphins with the point.
Because that was probably the logical thing to do after the Dolphins scored 9 points against the Jets.
Yeah, but they scored 30 some against Buffalo the last time.
With Tua.
Yeah, well.
With a little bit different person at quarterback.
Yeah, well.
You have, a top maybe 7 quarterback in the league and then a rookie in his second ever game. A little different here.
Let's see how we did in our bracket.
I almost had every game.
You had 1 loss and I have 2 losses.
I only missed the Tampa game. They looked woeful.
They did look awesome last week. So one of the things that we're going to discuss, if we remember to discuss it. So remember when you give me the show this Saturday that I want to discuss this. Where will Tom Brady be playing next year?
I'm putting it in right now.
Okay. All right, so that's going to do it for our political show tonight. We'll see if we do it next Tuesday. It's tough for me right now, as Fridays are tough for the non-genetically proven son with his sports schedule. Tuesdays are tough for me with my work schedule because, again, I got home at like 25 after 6 and we start at 7. So I can't really plan anything. When it takes like 10 minutes to set up this equipment, and so that's 10 minutes until I turn on the stream. Not that the stream is on for 15 minutes before we go live. So it's not like I can plan anything what I'm going to talk about. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for the evening. I thank you for joining us. As always, I would wish you guys would participate a little more. We love audience participation. So until Saturday morning, have a safe, happy, and healthy rest of your week. And remember to look through your stuff, for you may have classified documents too, especially if Grandpa Joe was ever at your house. And if you're white, don't post anything bad on Facebook that somebody could misconstrue and shoot non-white people. Fucking dopes. See you, everybody.